Hey, good morning, folks. Michael here, and we are into the end of August. Wow, the summer's coming to an end, and I'm saying thank God because it's been brutally hot. Hopefully, it hasn't been too hot out your way, unless you enjoy it. A little too hot for me because I like being outdoors. I like working the land. I love doing outdoor activities, and when it's in the 90s and stuff, it's just brutal. Anyway, this video is not about the weather. I am looking forward to the fall weather. It's my time of the year. And what we're going to be doing today is tapping on being your authentic self and being able to communicate as your authentic self to others. So this is something that I've dealt with myself, but sometimes we resist being our authentic selves because of fear of rejection, fear of being criticized, fear that others will challenge your beliefs, who you are, your opinions. And so sometimes we tend to mute ourselves, right? We suppress our voice. We suppress our authentic selves, who we are, what we believe. We just don't speak up. So if you've had any issues with that at all, this may be a great video to help you get started in flushing out what are the limiting beliefs, what holds me back, why do I stop myself from being true to myself, why do I stop myself from communicating as my authentic self with others. And it may be something you need to work on, right? So hopefully this will help. So let's go ahead and hop right in. All right. So take responsibility for yourself and be very keen to how you're feeling during this tapping session. What memories are coming up? What thoughts, even if they're fleeting thoughts that don't even make sense, take note of that stuff. These are going to be clues as to why you're doing this, what type of old memories, what type of old experiences or trauma you may have had that feed into this. And then when you become aware of them, you could start to change them. So here we go. Nice deep breath in. And just let it go. Even though I sometimes suppress who I really am, I don't give my authentic self a voice for fear of what other people might think, say, or do. And that's sad. But I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. And even though I sometimes suppress my authentic self, and I have a hard time communicating what I need, what I believe, and how I feel to others, I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. And even though I have a hard time communicating with others, especially communicating from my authentic self, being true to who I am, being true to what I believe, what I feel, what I need, what I desire. And a lot of times I'm doing this because it's based on fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of judgment and criticism. Fear that others will challenge my authentic self. And so I suppress it. Maybe I do it all the time. Maybe it's time to let that go. I choose to love, honor, and accept myself and anyone else who contributes to this in any way. All right, top of the head. I have a hard time communicating. This fear of communicating from my authentic self. This fear of speaking up. This fear of speaking up as my authentic self. It's scary. I'd rather just keep my mouth shut. If I speak up as my authentic self, someone might challenge that. And if somebody's challenging that, they're challenging who I am at my core. And that's scary. I'd rather just be accepted for who I am, my authentic self, my true inner being. But it might crush me if I get rejected, if I get judged or criticized for speaking up. I mean, all I'm trying to do is communicate with others. This could be my spouse. This could be other family members, friends, or colleagues. Maybe even neighbors or even strangers. I've been afraid to speak up. And not only that, I've been afraid of speaking up as my true authentic self. This fear of rejection. This fear of rejection. It's so scary. If I'm being true to who I am and communicating effectively what I believe, what I need, how I feel, and someone challenges that, well, what if someone rejects what I have to say? Or they judge or criticize me? That could completely crush me. This fear of just being crushed by my own emotional turmoil, created by the fact that I'm afraid to speak up as my authentic self. Let's break this down a bit. The only reason I'm afraid of being rejected, criticized, or judged is because, number one, maybe a part of me believes that it's true. That if someone rejects me or judges me, maybe I believe that what they're saying is true. But how would I know if it's actually true or not? Why does the opinion of someone else matter so much to me? What if it didn't matter? Maybe it doesn't matter. At what point in my life did I give so much thought and energy into other people's opinions? To the point where I suppress my authentic self, I suppress my voice, I'm afraid to communicate with others, and I live my life in that manner day in and day out. God did not put me into this physical reality to suppress my voice, to suppress my true inner being, to worry and fear about what others think. Besides, the only power anyone else's opinion has over me is the power I give them. Let's go to the wrist. That's right. I'm in control of all of this. It's time for me to wrap my mind around this. The only power anyone has over me, by way of their opinion or judgment or criticism, is the power I give them. Which means it's my thoughts about what they say or do that ultimately are impacting me. If someone rejects me and I feel bad about it, it has nothing to do with them. They didn't force me to feel this way. It's my interpretation of what they said that makes me feel bad. It's quite funny if you think about it. Michael, the only power anyone has over you is the power you give to them. If somebody criticizes, judges, or rejects me for communicating who I really am in any way throughout my life, and I get upset about it, it's because I gave them the power to control my emotions. But ultimately, I'm doing it to myself. That's right. I feel bad about myself by way of interpreting what others are saying or doing. It's a little tricky, isn't it? The brain can be very clever in unusual ways. It's quite a revelation. The only power anyone has over me is the power I give them. That's one powerful revelation. So I do not need to give them my power any longer. Number two, the only reason I would ever feel bad about being rejected, criticized, or judged by others is because of my interpretation of what they said or did. How I think about and emotionally respond to what they are saying is ultimately all on me. Because I have a decision that I can make, a choice in that decision. I could feel bad, or I could feel good. Which one would I choose? Well, feeling good, obviously. But Michael, if somebody rejects who I am at my core because I spoke up and communicated who I really am, and somebody judged that and said something mean, I'm feeling bad. How do I change that? Oh, it's simple. It's simple. Again, the only reason I feel bad is because, number one, I gave them the power over me by responding and interpreting what they were saying in such a negative manner. And in the words of Shakespeare, nothing is inherently good or bad. It's thought that makes it so. Let's think about this. If somebody said something rude to me in a foreign language, I would not feel bad. Right? Yes. It's right, because I would have no idea what they're even saying to me. Think about it. I have no idea what they're saying, so I cannot interpret it, I cannot attach meaning to it, and I cannot emotionally respond. So from this point forward, anytime someone has something mean, negative, or critical to say, I could just hear it as a bunch of garbly, foreign language that I have no clue what it is. I have no idea what they just said to me. I'm just going to smile and say, all right. From this point forward, I choose not to give my power away because I'm not going to attach meaning or interpretation by way of thought to what they said. I'm not going to allow negative thought or interpretation or meaning to be attached to what they said. Therefore, I will not feel bad. And I will do this over and over again until my new habit is to always feel good and to not attach negative meaning to what everyone has to say or what they're doing. If someone has a problem with who I am at an authentic level, it has more to do with them than me. Think about it. Happy people praise. Unhappy people judge, criticize, attack. Happy people praise. Unhappy people criticize and judge others. Therefore, if I'm being true to my authentic self and someone doesn't have something nice to say back to me or challenges me in such a negative way, it says more about them than me. It says more about them than me. And maybe there's something that's triggering them. Again, it has nothing to do with me. They may actively not like themselves, or they may hold a lot of criticism for themselves. And so if anything, I can feel bad for them. But we all know that I couldn't feel bad enough to make someone change their ways or feel better about themselves. So anytime someone has to say something negative to me, challenge who I am at an authentic level, criticize me, reject me, or judge me, I'm just going to see them on a whole other positive level. Because if they were truly happy, if they were truly connected on a higher level of consciousness, they would have nothing but love for me. Our differences wouldn't matter. They wouldn't feel threatened or triggered or negative in any way. So again, this has nothing to do with me. I can maintain my high level state of consciousness, positivity and love, joy and fun. And I'm not attaching any negative meaning to anyone's opinion of me from this point forward. And I love that. These are beautiful revelations that I choose to live by. My new default mindset is to maintain a high level of powerful positivity, happiness, joy, and love. And anytime someone's attacking me for speaking up, communicating who I am at an authentic level, being true to my inner being, and communicating exactly how I feel, what I want, and what I need, I'm just going to feel love for them. And if they're attacking me or judging me or criticizing me, even at a subtle level, I'm still going to see them happy, strong, healthy, and positive, because that's what they need. Me feeling great about myself and feeling good about them is going to be more powerful for them than feeling bad for them, for lashing out and attacking them, for going back at them and criticizing them, or letting their criticism and judgment impact me. I am now elevating myself to a higher level of greatness because that's what I choose to be and that's what I choose to do. I choose to allow my true authentic self to speak up, communicate loudly and clearly and effectively. I choose to communicate who I am and what I believe. I choose to do it in a way that's positively powerful, loving, compassionate, joyful, and fun, and even spunky. I'm allowing myself to be true to my inner being. I'm allowing myself to speak up, communicate clearly, concisely, and effectively anytime I feel the need to do so, without any worry of being criticized, judged, or attacked, because that has no impact on me whatsoever, because I know how the mindset works. I know how people work, and I rise above that to a higher level of consciousness to be powerfully positive moving forward. so be it. It is true. Yes, I love it. I choose to speak up. I choose to be powerfully positive. I choose to elevate myself to a level of greatness where all I can do is be true to my authentic self. From this point forward, so be it. It is true. Take a deep breath in through the nose and let it go. All right, guys. I love you. Thanks for tapping with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one.